Hello and welcome to the channel. Today is day 28 of IELTS 30 days challenge. In previous two classes, we have learned advanced reading and advanced writing tips and latest question types. Now it's time for listening. The IELTS listening test contains four sections. You will hear different situations and speakers. Your job is not simply to hear words. You need to recognize meaning, paraphrase, corrections, and distractors. Your formula is predict, listen, recognize, paraphrase, write, and check spelling. लिसनिंग में सिर्फ वर्ड सुनना इनफ नहीं होता, आपको स्पीकर का मीनिंग समझना है। स्पीकर एक आंसर बताने के बाद उसको करेक्ट भी कर सकता है। इसको डिस्ट्रैक्टर कहते हैं, इसलिए केयरफुली लिसन करें। नाउ यू आर अबाउट टू टेक एन IELTS listening advanced mock test. The test consists of four sections and you will hear variety of conversation and monologue. You will have time to read the questions before each sections begin. As you listen, write your answers carefully. Remember that speaker may use different words from those used in the question. Listen for meaning, synonyms, paraphrase, and corrections. You may also hear information that sounds correct at first, but later changed. This is called a distractor. You should follow the questions in order and check your spelling carefully. Now look at question 1 to 5. You have some time to read the questions. You will hear a conversation between student and an administrator at a language school. Before listening, predict the type of question. क्वेश्चन को सुनने से पहले प्रिडिक्ट करें कि आंसर किस टाइप का होगा। अगर ब्लैंक से पहले डॉलर या यूरो दिया का साइन दिया गया है तो आपको पता है कि आंसर अमाउंट। नाउ लिसन एंड आंसर द क्वेश्चंस।
Good morning, Riverside Language Center. How can I help you?
Good morning. I'd like to register for an evening English course.
Certainly, we have several evening courses. Could I take your name first?
Yes, my first name is Daniel, and my surname is Harrison.
Harrison, is that Harrison?
Yes, that's correct.
Great. Now, which course are you interested in?
The intermediate English course.
We have two intermediate courses. One begins in September, but the evening course begins on the 14th of October.
Yes, the October course is the one I'm interested in.
Good. The classes are held twice a week, on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
That's perfect. I was hoping they wouldn't be on Fridays.
No, definitely Tuesdays and Thursdays. The classes start at 6:30 in the evening and finish at 8 o'clock.
Great. And how much does the course cost?
The standard fee is £280.
£280. I thought it was £250.
That was the old price. The fee was increased this year, so the current fee is £280.
Okay, £280.
And finally, your classroom will be room 16, on the second floor.
Room 16. Got it.
Excellent. I'll just complete your registration.
That is the end of section 1. You now have some time to check your answers. For listening section 2, look at questions 6 to 10. You will hear a librarian giving information about changes to a community library. First, you have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. And after that, pause the video and answer these questions after listening the recording.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Greenfield Community Library. I'd like to tell you about several changes that will take place from next Monday. Let's begin with our opening hours. At present, the library opens at 8 a.m. However, from next week, we will open at 9 a.m. Some people may remember that we previously planned to open at 10 o'clock, but after receiving feedback from local residents, we decided to open an hour earlier. Now, let me explain the changes to the children's section. The children's area used to be near the main entrance. However, it has now been moved upstairs. So if you're looking for children's books, activities or reading materials, please go to the first floor. Next, we have our computer facilities. Members can use the library computers free of charge. Previously, each session was limited to 30 minutes. This has now been increased to 45 minutes. We considered allowing 1-hour sessions, but because demand is quite high, we decided that 45 minutes would be more practical. Now, let's talk about our weekend activities. These activities are not designed specifically for teenagers or senior citizens. Our main weekend program is aimed at families, particularly parents with young children. Finally, if you are joining the library for the first time, please remember to bring some form of identification. A photograph is not necessary, and you don't need to provide proof of employment. You simply need to bring identification. That could be a passport, driving license or another accepted form of ID. Thank you.
This is the end of section 2. You now have some time to check your answers. Now look at questions 11 to 13. You will hear two university students discussing a research project with their tutor. First, look at the questions and after that, pause the video and answer these questions after listening the recording.
So, Emily and James, how is your research project progressing?
It's going quite well now, but we had a problem at the beginning.
What kind of problem?
Our original topic was too broad. We wanted to investigate technology in education generally, but there were simply too many areas to cover.
At first, we thought we didn't have enough research, but actually the opposite was true. There was far too much information.
Yes, that's a common problem. So what did you do?
We narrowed the topic down to the effect of digital technology on university students' learning habits.
That's much more manageable. And how are you collecting your data?
We've prepared a questionnaire.
How many questions does it have?
25.
That's probably too many. Students may lose interest before completing it. I'd recommend reducing the number of questions rather than collecting more data.
We were actually thinking about adding another 10 questions.
I wouldn't recommend that. Keep the questionnaire short and focused.
Okay, we'll reduce it.
Good. And what about your final presentation?
We were planning to include lots of photographs.
Photographs can make a presentation more interesting, but they're not the most important thing here. You need to show what your data tells you. I'd like to see statistical comparisons between the different groups.
So we should compare the results rather than simply describe them.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Good. Then I think you're moving in the right direction.
That's the end of section 3. Now check your answers. Now look at question 14 to 20. You will hear part of a university lecture about technology and human learning. First, you have some time to look at questions 14 to 20. After that, listen the recording and answer these questions.
Good afternoon. Today we're going to examine the relationship between technology and human learning. Digital technology has transformed the way students access information. In the past, learners often had to spend considerable time searching through books or visiting libraries. Today, digital technology provides learners with immediate access to information. However, having access to information does not necessarily mean that students learn more effectively. One major concern is attention. Many digital learning environments contain notifications, messages, and other interruptions. Research suggests that frequent interruptions can reduce concentration. This is particularly important when students are working on difficult academic tasks. Another issue is multitasking. Students often believe they can study effectively while simultaneously checking social media, responding to messages, or watching videos. However, multitasking can interfere with the learning process. In particular, it may affect the ability to retain information. In other words, students may understand something briefly but have difficulty remembering it later. Technology can also make education more personalized. Modern learning systems can collect information about how students interact with educational materials. These personalized learning systems analyze student performance. They can identify areas where a student is struggling and recommend additional activities. But technology alone cannot guarantee effective learning. Students still need clear goals. Effective digital learning requires clear objectives. Learners need to know what they are expected to understand or achieve. Teachers also continue to play an important role. Some people believe that technology will eventually replace teachers. However, this is unlikely. Teachers provide explanation, encouragement, feedback, and human interaction. These elements remain extremely important. So, the question is not whether technology should replace traditional education. Instead, we should ask how technology can improve it. Technology should support rather than replace traditional learning. The most effective educational environments are likely to combine the advantages of digital technology with the guidance and interaction provided by teachers.
That's the end of listening test. Now check all your answer with the help of this answer key and see how well you did. Remember these 7 rules. Rule number 1, read before you listen. Predict the answer. Listen for synonym. Watch for corrections. Follow the answers in order. Check spellings. If you miss one answer, move on. Don't let one missed answer destroy the next 5. अगर एक आंसर मिस हो जाए तो पैनिक मत करें, उस क्वेश्चन के पीछे मत भागें, वरना एक आंसर मिस करने के चक्कर में आप मल्टीपल आंसर्स मिस कर सकते हैं. After completing the test, remember these 4 key lessons. For section 1, listen carefully for corrections and changes. For example, the fee was 250 pounds. Actually, it's 280 pounds. The final information is usually the answer. For section 2, don't choose an answer just because you hear the same word. The speaker may mention several options before giving the correct one. For section 3, in academic discussion, listen for opinions and changes. Watch for phrases like I would recommend, actually, instead, and I wouldn't suggest. For section 4, follow the lecture in order and listen for paraphrases. Remember, information can become retain information, and learning goals can become learning objectives. Finally, remember the formula. First predict, then listen, recognize paraphrase, write, and after that check. And if you miss one answer, don't panic. Move on. One missed answer should never become 5 missed answers. So that's all for today's lesson. If you found this helpful, please like, comment, and share. And subscribe to the channel that you never miss any further lessons we are going to continue with. Keep learning, keep practicing, and I will see you in day 29.